Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth. And today I'm bringing you a sort of vlog style book review for an entire series, and that series is going to be the Spiderwick Chronicles. I decided to begin reading these out loud to my 3.5-year-old. She is not quite old enough to understand what's going on in these children's books, but they have some fun fantasy elements in them, and she likes to have me read out loud to her while she plays, and then again at rest time and nighttime, and I wanted to start reading her some chapter books. So we started with Spiderwick Chronicles, the Field Guide, which is book 1. These are by Tony Ditterlitzy and Holly Black. This was published in 2003. I remember reading the first couple of books, and I think what I actually did was read kind of a bind up of a couple of the books, and then I watched the movie, which is basically all of the books together. But I've never read all of the books in the series, so I decided to start with the first book and start reading them out loud to Elena, and so far we're really enjoying the reread. I would give this book about a 4 to 4.5 stars. Um, it's really well written for a children's book. There are a couple of places where it was a little redundant or a little bit, I don't know, the writing seemed to fail a little bit in a few places. But on the whole, I felt like it was well done, and I am excited to get back to the library and pick up the next couple of books in the series. Hey guys, it's me again, back with book 2. This is The Seeing Stone, again by Tony Ditterlitzy and Holly Black. This was also copywritten and published in 2003 by Simon & Schuster Books. We just finished the last couple of pages before Monkey Butt went to sleep. We enjoyed it. She didn't enjoy this one quite as much because this is the one where they go and discover the goblin camp that has the cages with animals in it, and she didn't like that scene. She was okay with the large troll coming out of the water because, of course, there's a water troll in the deep places, and if you're nice, Mommy, then they'll just ignore you. But, you know, the goblins with the cats in the cages, we didn't like that part. I I applaud her imagination. But that is where we meet Hogsquill, and that made me realize that I have not said anything about the characters or the storyline in these books. I'm just assuming that you know them. If it's been a long time since you read them or saw the movie, or if you have not read them and have not seen the movie, then let me go ahead and bring you up to speed. We have a family whose father has left them and who has the mother moving her 3 children to her great aunt Lucinda's crumbling old home.
Out in the middle of nowhere, they've had to change schools, which is pretty good because the younger 2 are boys that are twins, and one of them, whose name is Jared, has got himself kicked out of school for fighting. His brother, whose name is Simon, is a lot quieter and less angry. He kind of funnels all of his emotions into caring for animals. And then they have their older sister, Mallory, who is a fencer. She is on the fencing team, and that's where she channels her frustrations. But then we have Jared, who kind of gets angry and frustrated and can't seem to stop himself from getting in trouble. And they have discovered a creature in the walls, and kind of through trying to figure out what it was, Jared discovered a secret hidden room, which they later found out was their ancestor Arthur Spiderwick's secret office, and that's where we get the Spiderwick name, Spiderwick Chronicles. In that office, they located a book that is the guidebook for the magical creatures in the area. They also discovered a boggart named Thimblecat, who, if you anger him, is horrible and mean, but if you make him happy again, he's nice, he speaks in riddles, and he's just this cute little guy that is kind of sassy, but really fun.
And so that is where we find ourselves. At the end of this book, we have also met Hogsquill, who is not a goblin, he is a hobgoblin. In the movie, 2 of them get the sight, and I believe Mallory may be the one that chose not to have the hobgoblin spit on her. But in the books, all 3 of them get hobgoblin spit and no longer have to use the seeing stone because they were using a stone with a hole in the middle of it as a monocle type thing with leather trappings stuck to their head so that they were able to see the goblins and sprites and the troll and all of that. But now Hogsquill has given them his spit in their eye, and they now have the sight. So They brought a griffin home also. So at the very end of book 2, we have a new pet for Simon in the form of one kitten and one injured griffin.
And that is where this book leaves off. This book has another set of gorgeous writing. We really enjoyed most of it. Again, there are parts that are slightly redundant. There are also parts that don't seem completely necessary, and some parts that just, again, feel like the writing has failed us a little bit. It goes soft on us, and the story kind of falls through the cracks in a few places. But on the whole, this is another 4-star book, and I'm excited to get to start reading book number 3 to her.
Hey guys, sorry for the poor lighting and weird angle, but I wanted to give you a quick update. We just finished Spiderwick Book 3, Lucinda Secret. I thought I would let you know we liked this one just about as much as the other two. I read it out loud to my daughter and to my mother this time.
My daughter wanted to take rest time with Gaga, but wanted mommy to read to her, and I wound up reading about 60 pages before I finally just said, look guys, I've read you 4.5 chapters, I'll finish this one and then you have to take a nap. And even my mom was like, no! She has not read the first 2 with us, so she was excited to kind of learn about this world, and I think she's going to pick up the first 2.
They meet their great aunt Lucinda and learn about why she's in the asylum, why people think she's crazy, why she won't eat, what's going on, how her dad left, and then they meet elves, and the elves kind of give them an ultimatum about bring us the book or else we'll take Simon away from you guys. So right now they're back at home and everything's fine, but book 4 promises to be exciting. Okay, we finished book 4, The Ironwood Tree. We finished that last night. Um, this one takes place away from the home for pretty much the entire book, which is the first time we've had that happen. They start out going to Mallory's fencing uh, competition, fencing competition at the school, and there is somebody there who is basically shape shifting. First, we're trying to figure out why there's a little girl going through Mallory's stuff, and this girl's all in fencing gear, and then all of a sudden it morphs into looking just like Jared and Simon and kind of confronts Jared. And Jared has his handy dandy pocket knife and has pulled it out of his pocket, but then the whatever it is shape shifts into a little boy. So then Jared's in trouble. And while all of that is going on, it's basically a big distraction, and Mallory gets kidnapped. So the boys then have to go through to the dwarfs, and they wind up being captured by the dwarves and having to escape. And they meet something called a knocker, I believe, which was a very interesting character. The dwarves have the first ironwood tree, which is why this is entitled The Ironwood Tree, and the descriptions of the things that the dwarves have built and put together is just absolutely gorgeous. You can imagine them very easily. And as always, my daughter really, really enjoyed the images that you see throughout the book. There's Mallory. They have put Mallory in a glass coffin that looks a whole lot like Snow White. They've dressed her up in this sort of outfit. And so the boys not only have to break themselves out of a cage, but they have to get her out of the glass coffin and try to head home. And we actually end the book with them having escaped and they are going home. But first, they finally see Mulgarath, who's the big bad that we've kind of been leading up to for the last couple of books. And Mulgarath has a human prisoner with a bag over their head. They can't tell who it is. Um, so the Grace children are heading home and they've decided to tell mom everything, which is really exciting. And I'm excited for us to start book number 5 today. Okay, everybody, we finished this one last night. This is book 5, The Wrath of Mulgarath, and it is the final one in this series. The Spiderwick Chronicles is over for us for now. I'm sure we'll watch the movie and maybe read some of the other things eventually, but for now we have finished. And this book basically follows the Grace children. They get home. It has been ransacked. There are goblins leaving. They cannot find their mother. They realize that the person they had seen being taken into Mulgarath's kingdom was their mother. So they must then kind of gather troops. They get Byron, and Hogsquill shows back up, and they go to the junkyard to try to fight their mom. And they have to fight Mulgarath and kind of come to some personal understanding of some other things that have been tiny issues throughout the entire book, or maybe bigger issues throughout the entire book series. And so it was very interesting. My daughter did point out a few things to me that she didn't like about the series.
First, she pointed out, she noticed that the entire series refers to everybody as fairies. Pixies, sprites, the puka, the elves, the goblins, the hobgoblins, Thimblecat, the house brownie, and the trolls are all referred to as types of fairies. She did not like that. They're not fairies. She said it just like that to the mama. They're not fairies. That's a troll. It's not fairy. So there's that, and I found that a little disturbing to my sense of reality, but as a 31-year-old, I read it and kept going. For a 3-year-old, she's like, they're not fairies. The other thing that she pointed out was that the dragons come from the fire salamanders, which she didn't like either, because that's not how dragons come. You know, dragons are hatched from eggs, dragons grow up, dragons don't act like that. We did talk a little bit about different kinds of dragons, and she was finally okay, but
those are a couple of things where if you are reading the series with your child who is, you know, pre-K, kindergarten, first, second grade, somewhere in there, and they haven't really encountered other types of dragons or really had anything about fairies other than, you know, the Neverland fairies, and then all of a sudden trolls and everything else are not trolls and goblins, but they're all a type of fairy, it might be a little bit of an issue. But overall, we gave this book a 4-star, and every other book got a 4-star. So the entire series is a 4-star read for us. And if you have not read the Spiderwick Chronicles, I hope that you pick it up. I hope that you, if you are a parent or an aunt or uncle or a babysitter, that you are reading out loud to the kids in your life. They love it, and it's a lot of fun for you too if you can stand them interrupting you, because that gets a little frustrating. But other than that, I hope that you're reading out loud to the kids in your life. And I hope that you enjoyed this kind of video. I'm going to be doing it again with some middle grade novels that I've been reading. So look forward to that. And I will let you guys go. Don't forget to tell me what you think of the Spiderwick Chronicles and this type of video arrangement down below. So comment, like, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you soon, guys.